Howdy SSM 406. Today's video is about how to get an A on your very first policy memo. So let's start off by going to the website, course introduction. You're going to go down, and this is actually going to be assignment number 2, memo number 1. You just go down here, you click on the assignment here, and then this is the document that comes up, which provides the introduction, the instructions, and I give you the grading rubric. So as you know, this is a writing intensive class and it's about natural resource policy. So the majority of the work will be about writing about natural resource policy. But we also want this to be something that you're really engaged in. So I'm asking you to choose a topic on natural resource policy that you're most interested in. And what we're going to do is throughout the course, we're going to continue to refine your knowledge and expertise in this particular policy issue. So writing is difficult, right? Writing is something that people have continually work on throughout their careers. And some people think they just write it once and they're completely done. Well, for professional writing, this is when you come into the revising and rewriting piece, and also taking constructive criticism from your peers to understand how to make your point more cleanly, more clearly, more concisely. So we're going to have you practicing both of those skills. We're going to have you practicing your writing, and then we're also going to have you reading the writing of others in your class, both to make you a better writer and to inform you about what other students in the class are working on, but also help you to reflect on how you can improve your own writing. So what we're going to be doing is writing these policy briefs, and each iteration of the policy brief, you're going to be learning more and more about natural resource policy. And this is going to give you more information and resources and skills and knowledge on how to make your argument that much better. So one of my favorite quotes about writing is from Steven Pinker. So writing's about thinking, right? And what he says is, writing is inherently a psychological phenomenon, a way that one mind can cause ideas to happen in another mind. So I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. You are providing your ideas in writing and sharing it with someone else to read. And this is the communication all on paper. So we're going to work on being better writers in this class. So as I said, we're going to be, as you go through the assignment, is you're going to be doing the 2 reviews of your classmates for each of the 5 memos we work on. Now, this first assignment, you're going to be writing a policy memo in which you propose a topic for the rest of the semester. Now, it's one that should be really exciting and interesting to you, and something that you feel really passionate about and want to continue to learn about for the remainder of the semester. Maybe it's something you even want to spend your career working on. This is a really great way to learn more about that topic that you're interested in. So the requirements are, it needs to be a natural resource policy problem. Because of course, that's what this course is about. But then there's, natural resources really covers a really broad range of topics. It can be forests, ocean, clean water, groundwater, endangered species. It can be minerals. It can be about pollution. It can be any sort of authoritative decision-making process, which is really what the basic definition of what a policy is. So it also needs to be something that is controversial, right? So maybe there's already a policy about it, and you think the policy needs to be changed or amended in some way, or maybe there's not even a policy about it at all, and you want to propose a policy for one of these subjects. So in this week's readings, you're going to be thinking about how a policy is defined. This will be on your quiz as well, so thinking through this. And it's going to give you a deeper understanding of policies and these problems. So I want you to focus on something that is a policy problem that you're really interested and passionate about, but also make sure that it's nothing too big. For instance, if you want to talk about, in Texas, we have a water shortage. And we've had that for the last several years. It's getting better now. But how that water shortage is realized is quite different in different parts of the state. So if you are in the Ogallala area where there's the aquifer, that's going to be quite different than the Edwards Aquifer. The Edwards Aquifer, you need to worry about the endangered species problem by drawing down too much of the water, where you don't have that problem in Ogallala. Another example that's really topical is climate change. Now, climate change is a super complex issue, and to tackle just to use one policy member to tackle all of climate change isn't going to work. So you want to think of what is something that you can focus on that is going to be concise, that you have enough information and not overwhelmed by the information so you can write about it. So one of the examples of that is maybe looking at the coast, how the coast or the sea level rise is going to affect the coast, and thinking about policies along the coastline. So those are some of the problems that you can look into. You also want to make sure that you have one that there's enough information about so that you can write about it. You're going to have sources about this, scholarly as well as government reports, websites, newspapers, that sort of thing. So you want to make sure that there's enough citations that you can put in your paper about your research topic. So let's keep on going. So you have 5 individual memos, and then you're going to have your final memo, which is going to pull everything together, and that's your big one. Once you submit your work, you're going to have the chance to read 2 other classmates' work, and then you will also have 2 other classmates provide the work to you. So this is something that you really want to spend a lot of time on, right? So this is how you're going to make each other better throughout the class, because these are going to be iterative processes. You're going to write on the same topic each time, so you're just going to become an expert in it. But you're also going to be exposed to what other students are working on. So you want to think about what sort of feedback you want from your reviewer, and you want to provide that type of information and critical review that's helpful to the paper you're reading. And we'll go on to that because that's going to be an assignment later on. But I just want you to be thoughtful about that as you're putting together your first memo. Like I said, all of your writing assignments for this class will be policy memos. And you want to make these, you can go through the assignment, but this is something you want to write in a very engaging way. This is in the practical world, you're going to be giving these to government policymakers and trying to get their attention. So you don't want something really dry and scientific. You want to really demonstrate why this is an important issue. So you can use first-person pronouns. I believe this is an issue because, that sort of thing. Now, these are all going to be research papers, but they're short ones, right? They're really concise and to the point. And you need to have some kind of sources to back up your claims. And that is where the citation piece comes in. So there are lots of really good citation management software packages out there, and 3 of them are free through Texas A&M. Those include Zotero, EndNote, and Mendeley. And all are free, and you can put your sources into this and it will help you format your bibliography at the end. This is going to be especially helpful as you continue to write the same papers, because you're going to have all of your work put into the citation manager. Now, in your paper, you're also going to have the in-text citations and the works cited section. So all of this will help you with that. So I've also, if you go back to the website, when you go to resources and advice, this is another place you can go to help you. Remember, the Writing Center at the university is a really excellent source for you. If you have any questions about citation style, we're using the APA 6 citation style. The information is provided for you here. There's also lots of articles you can read about how to do a step-by-step writing guide for a research paper. As we talked about in the other video, there's the common writing errors. Remember, you get 10 points extra credit if you go to the Writing Center and provide me the proof of your attendance. There's also the policy memo, example of some of the topics you can choose. This is all under your resources and advice tab on the eCampus site. There's also instructions on this memo for this specific assignment. So for this assignment, you're going to need to have a 600-word, not counting the bibliography, proposal in which you explain what the policy program problem is and why you think it's an important problem. You also are going to identify 3 major actors. And so someone was asking earlier what an actor was. And I wrote down over here of an explanation so I can make sure that you feel comfortable with knowing what